Hello everyone and welcome to the Smahsi Business Show. Today is Thursday, March 5, 2026 and I'm Abdul Majid Awan live from our studios in Dubai, production city. Just telling you the location just to let you know that we're safe in this country, in this city. First of all, the headlines. The Abu Dhabi-backed RedBird IMEI is to merge All3Media with Banijay in 4.4 billion euros TV production giant. There's a lot of big shows that are part of All3Media and which are produced by Banijay. We'll talk all about them. Qatar has halted its LNG exports after Iranian strikes and they've declared force majeure. I'll explain what that is. It's a French word and how now the LNG exports to the countries in the world will be halted or delayed. Kalshi has refused to pay out Iran Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei's bets and they've reimbursed traders instead. Very technical, but it's a new emerging prediction market. We'll talk about it, how it works. And we're also going to talk about UK media. They're divided over who should pay to evacuate Britons from Middle East. And let's start with that. A debate is intensifying across British television and media over who should pay for evacuating UK citizens from the Middle East as regional tensions disrupt travel and strand thousands abroad. The UK government is obviously considering evacuation plan for tens of thousands of Britons in the region. There's a lot of numbers right now on social media where they say there's 30,000 Brits in the UAE, there's 50,000. There was a number I was also surprised by it, but there's a lot of Britishers in the UAE, in the Gulf countries, and some commentators, there's two sides of the stories. There's a very heavy debate going on. So one side argues that expats who moved to low tax countries like the UAE should not rely on British taxpayers for rescue operations, labeling them tax exiles or tax dodgers also, and who benefit from public support without contributing financially. Others on the side are countering that citizenship carries responsibilities on both sides, insisting the government has a duty to protect Britons abroad regardless of where they live or pay taxes, especially during crises. The debate has become a major talking point across UK TV and radio. There's two clips I have to play for you to let you know what is happening right now in the British media.
Very interesting yesterday, this row kind of blew up in social media and in the Commons as well about the fact that tens of thousands of Brits have moved to places like Dubai, potentially, I can't speak for all the individuals, but to avoid paying tax. And there are questions now about if they need rescuing, if there is a mass evacuation of all of those Brits, should they actually pay for their own evacuation? Because if they're avoiding paying tax, then they're avoiding paying into public services like the government coming to get you when you're in trouble.
Do you think we should be using taxpayers' money to get expats home from the Middle East?
One word, definitely.
Definitely?
Definitely.
What?
They are British. They are British by birth. I never thought I'd go against what Wilfred is saying. I've always had the greatest respect for him. But they are British by birth.
But
this
they
is
have
not
decided to make a life somewhere else, James.
I understand that absolutely. I understand that absolutely, and I do indeed know where Wilfred's coming from. But at the end of the day, this is not of their making. It is that moron that occupies the White House.
Well, that was you. That's your view, James. And we encourage all views here. Thank you very much for your call.
That is some heated debate going on British media, and a lot of people are commenting on our posts and the videos that we're sharing from the British media, and they're saying that it's only the tourists who want to be flown back to their country, to UAE, to wherever they want, to the UK, sorry. But it's a very long debate which will keep going on. We have entered day 6 of America and US and Israel's attack on Iran, on their sovereign nation on their sovereign territory and Iran's retaliatory strikes back on Gulf countries and Israel. So we'll keep you updated on all of these things. But there's a very interesting story developing in the media world. We are talking about how Gulf-backed Paramount is going to merge with WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery. They're going to basically buy all their assets, including the legacy assets, CNN. But there's another thing that silently happened over the weekend, and a lot of people, to be honest, didn't realize the magnanimity of it. Abu Dhabi-backed RedBird IMI, which is a company, which is RedBird is an American investor, IMI is Dubai, Abu Dhabi based. Both of them merged, first of all, to take over the Telegraph in the UK, but now they're doing other businesses as well. And they have agreed to combine their portfolio company, All3Media, with Banijay-Entertainment to create one of the world's largest television content producers and libraries. The deal will form a joint venture between RedBird, IMI and Banijay Group, with both partners holding equal 50% stakes. The combined company will operate under the Banijay name and bring together Banijay Entertainment, including its live events division, with All3Media's global production network. The new entity would have generated more than 4.4 billion euros in annual revenue based on 2024 figures, with adjusted earnings of about 690 million euros. As part of the transaction, RedBird IMI will roll over its entire stake in All3Media into the new company, while Banijay Group will receive a total cash upstream of about 796 million euros. The combined group will include more than 170 creative labels. This is the interesting part, operating across 25 countries and nearly 250 territories, with a catalog of more than 260,000 hours of content and about 20,000 hours of programming produced annually. Its portfolio features global franchises such as The Traitors, Big Brother, and Survivor, along with acclaimed series including Peaky Blinders and Black Mirror. The deal is subject to regulatory approvals, obviously, and is expected to close by autumn 2026. That's Q3 or Q2, somewhere in between. But this is what is happening. It's a media giant that has been created thanks to Abu Dhabi-backed RedBird IMI. They own a company, All3Media, and Banijay is a global powerhouse. So very interesting. We'll see when the deal finalizes and how these merge and what we will get as a result of this merger. But a very interesting story, a very serious update from the world of energy is that Qatar Energy has declared a force majeure on its liquefied natural gas contracts after Iranian attacks halted production at key facilities, raising concerns about global energy supply. The world's largest LNG exporter announced it has suspended operations following strikes on its industrial hubs at Ras Laffan Industrial City and Masaid International City on March 2nd. That was 3 days ago. Force majeure is a legal clause that allows companies to suspend contractual obligations when extraordinary events such as war or natural disasters make deliveries impossible. For global energy buyers, the message is very clear from Qatar Energy. Shipments of Qatar LNG could face major delays. Qatar supplies roughly 1/5 of the world's liquefied natural gas, 20% that is, making any disruption significant for global markets. Major importers include China, India, South Korea, Japan, and Pakistan, and a lot of European countries as well. Energy markets have already reacted sharply, with Asian LNG prices jumping nearly 40% and European gas prices surging as well. The shutdown is also affecting downstream industries. So LNG is used for a lot of byproducts as well. On March 3rd, 2 days ago, Qatar Energy said it would halt production of products including urea, polymers, methanol, and aluminium. Meanwhile, around 150 vessels are reportedly waiting near the Strait of Hormuz under Iranian control as shipping companies await clarity on when exports can resume. For now, the duration of disruption remains uncertain. There is a video of His Excellency Saad Sharida Al-Kabi, Minister of State for Energy Affairs and President and CEO of Qatar Energy. He was speaking at a newsmaker interview at the Doha Forum 2025, where he was asked if Europe, there was a story that we covered last year between the mid of year that Europe was putting extra 5% tax on Qatar LNG because of their own policies. But this is Mr. Al-Kabi responding to that. But to be honest, those comments that he makes that I'll play for you, they also stand true in the current situation. If Qatar does not restart the LNG production soon, which it will take at least 2 weeks to restart, according to a Bloomberg article, and a lot of analysts, they're saying that shutting down is easy, but restarting takes 2 weeks at least. So if they don't start it back soon enough, Europe will be facing a shortage of LNG, and whenever winter comes, they will be short on gas supply. So here's a video of him replying to the question. Story number 3 video.
Your Excellency Al-Kabi, we're talking about an uncertain world. We're talking about politics. Is Qatar going to stop its LNG exports to Europe?
First, I'd like to thank His Excellency Dr. Sultan for inviting me to this conference. It's a pleasure to be with everybody, and I think it's very hard to speak after the 2 speeches that we heard, which were magnificent, and I agree with everything they said. Regarding whether we would stop to Europe, you're talking about the regulations in Europe. One of the things that I would like to highlight is, I think, maybe if you look at everybody in the room, and I think most of these companies are our colleagues and friends, we have had in Qatar the same policy and our view on how we see the business, how we see the transition, how we see the need for oil and gas for the future, and have not changed our ways. We have announced that we can't reach net zero because we don't think it's achievable. I think, a small part of this conference, unfortunately, changed with politics, depending on, when it was President Biden and now President Trump and so on. And I think they're not looking at facts and realities. And I think we shouldn't be following politics when we look at the lives of people for the future and how much energy we need in the future. Going back to your question, we have announced very clearly, I've spoken in several occasions, if Europe does not look at how they can water down the CSDD or cancel the CSDD and still have a penalty of 5% of our 5% of our total world turnover as a penalty, we will not be delivering LNG to Europe for sure, 100%. And the reason being is what I just said. We have already announced a while back that we can't reach net zero, and that's one of the requirements, among other host of things that I think the majority are aware of. So I think Europe needs to understand that I think they need the gas from Qatar, they need the gas from the US, they need the gas from many places around the world. And I think if they don't change that, it's not us as a company, it's Toyota delivering cars that will be impacted. This is not an oil and gas thing. So I think it's very important that you look at this very seriously, and I think that's being looked at by the Europeans.
We will not sell them gas if they don't take over, remove the 5% tax. Very clear instructions from Mr. Al-Kabi, but right now, if the US and Israel don't stop the war with Iran, the LNG production is halted, and Qatar will not produce 20% of the LNG that it supplies to the world. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next. We will keep you updated as usual on our social media, in our newsletter, wherever you are, whichever social media platform you use, we are there. Just Google or just write Smahsi Business and you'll find us. But the last story of the day is, again, an interesting one, and it's related to the US-UAE Iran war. The interesting decision by prediction market platform Kalshi has reignited a debate about the ethics of betting on political events tied to death. The platform, founded by Lebanese-American entrepreneur Tariq Mansour, the reason we cover it, recently faced backlash after settling a market linked to Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei in an unusual way. The market had asked whether Khamenei would be out as supreme leader before March 1st, 2026. And when the war started in late February, the odds surged to 68% in favor of yes, as geopolitical tensions in the region obviously intensified. But when Mr. Khamenei died, Kalshi did not pay out those bets. Instead, the company invoked a rule stating that if the leader died, the market would not resolve to yes. The result was calculated based on the last traded price before his death was confirmed, a level significantly lower than the peak odds. So the decision triggered strong criticism from traders, prediction market traders, who believed that they had correctly predicted the outcome. To address the backlash, Kalshi took the unusual step of reimbursing all traders out of pocket, covering trading fees and net losses, a move that company said resulted in a substantial financial hit. Mansoor defended the decision on X, saying regulated US prediction markets should not allow people to profit directly from assassination, terrorism, or other violent outcomes. So it's very important. It's a new thing that people are doing. They're going to prediction markets. After the stock market and the blockchain or the crypto market, prediction markets are the new thing. So if you're there, just read the rules very clearly before you're doing it. There's poly market, there's a lot of them. A lot of people in the Islamic world have a contention against them that they are pure betting. It's just a new name called as prediction. But we will see if we get a decision on them. Right now, these markets are only available in US, in America, and Europe. But we don't know if they're going to come here, if they're ever going to come here. That's for the industry experts and the ministries to decide in the Gulf markets. But before we move on to our closing, just a quick market watch. Yesterday, Dubai financial market, the DFM opened after 4 days. So they were closed on Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday because of the retaliatory strikes by Iran on UAE and other Gulf countries. 2-day safe period was observed and the markets were closed. DFM opened in a -4 percentage. ADX opened -2% at the close. Today, the Dubai financial market right now, as I'm doing the show live, it's in -2.214%. ADX right now is also -2.116%. Very interestingly, Saudi market in the past 2 days and today is up. It's 1.3%, 1.32% up. Very interestingly. And Egyptian market right now is opening, it's closed actually, but it closed at around 0.59, half a point. Didn't get affected much, but DFM and ADX are affected. There was a 5% rule. It's usually a 10% or 15% rule. But yesterday, a 5% rule was applied that if the stock, any stock on DFM and ADX falls below 5%, so they will halt selling on that or trading on that stock. And a lot of the big names went to -5%. So they were halted. Their trading was halted specifically, but the markets were closed and they closed at their usual time. In the global market, in the US market, European market, Asian market, obviously Asian markets and European market opened first. They fell yesterday also. They opened in the negative today as well. But the US market saw a very interesting move yesterday. They opened at a drop. Pre-market was good, pre-market was up, but then they dropped as soon as the market opened. But then there was a New York Times article which said that Iran had contacted US through diplomatic channels, through secret hidden channels, and asked to stop the war. That article alone gave the market a push and everything started going upwards. The market saw an upward movement, S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow Industrial, everything went up. So this is what is happening right now in the world. We are living in a time of volatility. So if you're in the region, it's very important that you, in the wake of the developments in the region, we hope you stay safe. At this critical moment, it is essential to remain united and follow guidance issued by only official authorities from your country. If you're in Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, wherever you are, and if you're affected by this turmoil, listen to the official authorities and follow them only. Don't listen to the grapevine or the rumors that are spreading on social media. So thank you so much for today. This has been a Smahsi Business Show, a Smahsi Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. We have been seeing a lot of movement, a lot of upward movement on our following on social media in regards to Augustus Media, Love in Dubai brand, everywhere. Thank you for trusting us to give you the very best news, very authentic news, very official news. We are trying our best in these times. These are, again, volatile times. No one knows what's going to happen next, but we are trying our best to give you news from the best official sources. So thank you for sticking with us and thank you for following us. If you want the summary of every day, we have a Smahsi Business newsletter, goes out every day at 6:30 a.m. in the morning, Dubai, UAE time. You can subscribe to it. There is a link in the description if you're watching, if you're listening. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a very, very safe day. Whenever you get time, spend it with your friends, family, and your closed ones. Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you on Friday again. Bye-bye.